Hello, my name is Genevieve Woodrow, and I'm the Director of Business Development for Suffolk out of Tampa, Florida.
Hello, everyone. I'm Steven Burke, Senior Director of Sustainability at Suffolk Construction, and my responsibility at Suffolk is to oversee enterprise-wide sustainability efforts across our construction division as well as our other verticals, including Suffolk Design, Suffolk Technologies, and Suffolk Capital, as well as Liberty, which is our self-perform arm of our company. And Suffolk, you may not know this, but is actually number 9 on the top green contractors list in the United States. We're a top 25 contractor in the US overall. We're across both coasts of the United States, and we operate in many different sectors and market types.
Thank you, Stephen. And I also wanted to mention that I've been a crew member since 2005. So I've been involved over the years. So we're excited to participate in this. So Stephen, I'll start off. Why is sustainability important to you and to Suffolk?
Well, it's a great time to be someone who cares about sustainability. There's definitely been a different level of adoption recently in construction. I think construction's always been a little bit behind the rest of the industry from a sustainability perspective, but over the last 5 years, that's really accelerated, and we're seeing new opportunities for construction firms to get engaged, whether it's on embodied carbon in particular, and material procurement, or trying to electrify job sites and reduce the carbon associated with construction processes, or just trying to tackle really big, complicated problems like material waste and construction waste, which are huge issues in the construction industry in terms of our overall impact and a lack of ways to address those problems. So it's just a really exciting time to try to find ways to innovatively introduce sustainability into the betterment of construction operations from a company perspective. And fortunately, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time and have this opportunity with a great company that's trying to think forward and move ahead.
That's very exciting. Yes, it's exciting to see this going on. What sustainable practices do you offer to your clients, and how is this being received?
Well, we're definitely a little bit unique in this regard. So I mentioned that Suffolk has these different verticals within the company, and one of them is Suffolk Design. So we have architects and engineers that will stamp drawings as needed and to help complete the design process. But it also means that those architects and engineers can offer unique services that you would typically get from an architecture firm, from a consulting firm, from an engineering firm. And we have those broken out into 3 main buckets, which are pre-construction and design coordination related services, then construction related sustainability services, and then ultimately actually post-construction related services to make sure that buildings are functioning as intended and being able to continue through the process of this building development engagement, which typically has the construction team falling off when they hand over the keys and the building starts to get occupied. But that's actually one of the most critical points for sustainability from an operations perspective. So those are the 3 main buckets, and many of them flow through our Suffolk Design vertical, but there's also just a standard basis of excellence with standard operating procedures and sustainability that we try to implement across all job sites, kind of the table stakes of making sure we're doing the right thing and getting people excited to participate in sustainability initiatives.
Excellent. It's all about doing the right thing. I like that. Okay, so what sustainable action is your company or Suffolk in specific programs or initiatives?
So I think this kind of relates back to the previous questions. So one of the things that's a little bit different, to give a concrete example, is with the design related services, we can do embodied carbon modeling, which for those who are not as familiar with embodied carbon, the concept is as buildings are getting much more efficient in their operating energy, we're increasingly understanding that the carbon footprint associated with the materials is actually having a much bigger impact, which is a good thing on the one hand because buildings are getting much more efficient, but it's a challenging problem to deal with on the other hand, because you have 10 other factors that are driving material procurement, and trying to optimize them for embodied carbon is challenging. So having different stages of analysis that we can run through our design programs and inform clients as to what the best solutions are, either from a design or material procurement perspective, really, I think, accelerates the ability of the team to make good decisions in real time and integrate some of the things that have maybe typically been absent from these processes, like real-time constructability, schedule, procurement, and cost feedback in the decision-making process, so that there's not a siloed set of reviews happening between designer, consultant, builder, owner, and trying to have this integrated end-to-end approach, I think is extremely beneficial. And it's not just for embodied carbon, but I think that's one example specifically that helps exemplify what it is we're trying to achieve.
Great. Is there a particular project you would like to highlight?
Well, we actually have two that are really special to us as a company, and they're both recent projects. One is the Winthrop Center project in Boston, which is the largest passive house building in the world. And then there's the Boston University Center for Data Sciences and Computing, which is the largest net zero fossil fuel free building in the Northeast. So we're very proud of those both two recent additions to our portfolio, and we feel like there's a lot of great opportunities to translate that into other projects. And another interesting one currently underway that's in the construction phase is the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport is electrifying their central utility plant, and it's going to be the first fossil fuel-free, carbon-neutral central utility plant in aviation in the United States. So another exciting opportunity for us to get engaged with.
It's very exciting. So last question, what challenges, successful actions would you share with other businesses interested in operating sustainability?
Well, challenges, anytime you're trying to introduce a new workflow or a new way of doing things, especially in the construction industry, it's difficult to get people on board because there's been a way of doing things. And if you can't demonstrate the value and you're making people's lives more difficult or more costly or any of the above, getting buy-in can be especially tough. So I think it's really important to articulate why you're doing these things, how you're going to do it, and the value that's going to be provided through that process. And it's also, I mentioned, being in sustainability, being an interesting time. There's a lot happening at the regulatory level that's driving companies towards sustainability, whether they're ready for it or not. So I think it's really beneficial for any company to get ahead of any of those things, even if it's not required today. I think we can see things are just moving in that direction. So the sooner that you can build out the internal infrastructure and the programs and the policies that help you operate more sustainably and get ahead of the regulatory environment, I think it benefits everyone. It's good for employee engagement and talent attraction and retention. So it really is just the right thing to do, and I feel will help the company to do it sooner rather than later.
Well, thank you, Steven. This is very exciting. It's been exciting for me to learn about it. So I just wanted to thank you again for your time, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.